Mayor of Carmel, what will be your top 2 or 3 priorities and why?
My first priority would be to hire a single accounting firm to take all the financial information in the city, all departments, redevelopment commission, and get it down on one sheet of paper so we can tell what the real financial status of the city is. The next thing I do within 60 days of taking office, I would place all the Carmel Redevelopment Commission's financial and contractual documents online. The next thing I would do is I would hire a contracting and purchasing professional to ensure that we get the highest quality for the money that we spend. It's your money. It's your community. And we need to be good stewards of that money. We are the only city that does not have a development director in Hamilton County that works fully on this. We have a lot of people with the title, but I can tell you for a fact, I meet a restaurateur who wants to build a restaurant in Carmel, and he didn't know who to go to. There wasn't a single person. Development begins and ends in the mayor's office, and we need to remove it from that office and make it a non-political process. Thank you.
Martin?
The people of Carmel should know, and I probably would agree with Mayor Brainard on this, that the only task of a mayor is not only finances and accounting. There is a plethora of duties that a mayor is responsible for the benefit of the people who have made him their public servant. And so what I have proposed is on my contract with Carmel, which is also available outside, and I'm sure that many of you have seen it up to this point. That is fiscal responsibility after years of liberal borrowing and spending by the current administration. Sensible growth. We need to grow Carmel, but we don't need to overbuild where there are millions of square feet of lease and sublease space available in the city. Go through the city. How many commercial buildings do you see that do not have for lease signs? We have projects like a Palladium, which might have been a grand idea for $80 million, but not $200 million, and not with specific future planning that would have ensured that enough revenue would have come to that institution to make it viable for the benefit of Carmel. Important. Sensible growth, sensible taxation. Those old Republican traditional thoughts, small and less intrusive government, fair and low taxes, sensible spending and borrowing. That's where it should be here in Carmel. Fiscal conservatism.
Jim Brainard, priorities as mayor.
I'm going to take this time to respond to a couple of things I just feel I really need to respond to from the last question. Mr. Spigelman, first, you pointed out some of our savings in fire and pension funds, but you failed to point out that the state took over all the obligations for paying those pensions from us as part of the property tax reform and told us, City of Carmel and every other city in the state, you don't need to use those funds anymore. You can use them for other purposes. And in fact, listed what those purposes were. You say the CRC is a quasi-government agency. That's just not correct. It's a city department, like every other city department under state law. I pointed out we have not used a penny of residential homeowners taxes to build the Palladium. And that's what I said 5 years ago, and that's what we've said now. We've always said from the beginning we would use some operating money from the city, because if the sort of thing would make money directly, we wouldn't do it. But why we're doing it is to attract private sector capital to that old rundown area where the Kroger store used to be. And to date, we've gotten over $350 million of private sector money in that area. Now, all that commercial investment pays taxes. millions of dollars a year. And so that's a good thing for the taxpayers that will far exceed what we've spent on an annual basis. Mr. Accetturo, I'd have to comment, so far you want to add a purchasing professional. Well, we have one. The retired Army colonel with a master's degree who handles purchasing for the city. It's in his job description. You've talked about not being able to find information. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Spigelman, you said we didn't have any general obligation bonds. We do have $25 million. And if you look on our website where that is listed, it's very transparent. It's right there listed for you. So that AA rating does mean something. We've handled almost 300.
Mr. Mayor, that's time.
Am I through? Okay, thank you.